This rover that meant Phrolova was not our rover, it was the Grand Architect. This theory is the most popular in China and Japan right now, and thanks to Trend2929 for bringing this up. We know the Grand Architect can shapeshift, so it's not a big deal for him to shapeshift a rover. But why does it have to be a rover? Well, to put the idea of starting over inside Phrolova's mind, who else is the best example other than Rover themselves if they want to bring Rover into play later on in the future, which they did in our current timeline. Notice how the Grand Architect put a lot of emphasis on promises and quotes on start over here. He uses that a lot of times to manipulate the weak state Phrolova was at that moment. He even knows everything about Phrolova's hometown and the people dear to her. All this would mean that Phrolova and Rover knew each other from way back then and had info on each other, which isn't surprising because both have different goals. One tries to accelerate the element while the other tries to stop it. Now notice how Rover sometimes remembers the things they might have done in the past. They saw a vision of their past self playing piano with Showkeeper, but no matter the few times Rover tried to question themselves and Phrolova whether their interaction ever happened, he could not remember anything at all and instead showed a lot of doubt. Rover usually isn't like this, they try to believe what they say. Now you might think Phrolova's resonance awakening was a long time ago before she met this rover that we are calling the Grand Architect. So how does this line up? Let's trace back to the meteor that hit Phrolova's village, causing her awakening. It was orchestrated by the Phrolova. Here these are all the meteorites that was falling down, and the one that hit her village was this blue one. To back this up, the star symbols on Phrolova's body, which was glowing during her fourth awakening, are also similar. I don't think this is just a coincidence. The star cross-shaped symbols resemble the motif of Phrolova and can be seen on some of their enemies, and also in a recent video wuwa posted, Phrolova was definitely involved in this incident. Another proof of this is the meteor that Phrolova sees when she remembers the disaster from her perspective is clearly different from the meteor we saw in the actual event. Basically, in her mind, she doesn't think it was a Phrolova, rather believes it was a natural phenomenon or the lament. Now, if Phrolova were the ones that dropped the meteorite on her, they will obviously know what power she had awakened. When they came to know how her powers let her resonate with the lingering frequencies of the dead and put them in a sonosphere, they had to do their best to recruit her. In the recent quest and even in Septimon, you will see the Grand Architect was urging Phrolova to aid Cristoforo in his plan first because they definitely need her powers to succeed in whatever they are doing. Also, that's where the Grand Architect disguising as a rover comes into play, because if you are running an organization that tries to accelerate the progress of the lament, you would not want someone with the power of Phrolova to go into the hands of your enemy, which is Rover. They plan all this 100 years ahead, staged all these fake interactions just to be one step ahead of the current Rover. I just found this theory to be super interesting, so I thought I had to share it. Sorry for using my voice, I did not want to use AI for this.